Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I am Joe Brown here at Financial Wellness University. I want to thank you for visiting the channel. Today, I am going to cover 5 habits that keep you broke. 5 habits that keep you broke. If it's your first time visiting the channel, please consider subscribing and hit that little like button so more people will see this video. If that is something you want to hear more about, 5 habits that keep you broke, stay tuned. All right, so let's get to it. 5 habits that keep you broke. Now, these habits are not in any chronological order, nor are they exhaustive of the things that keep you broke. But I think these are 5 ones that are pretty prevalent. And if we could reverse these habits, I think there could be significant changes within your finances. So let's get right to it. Number one habit that keeps you broke is impulsive spending. Impulsive spending. Spending with no control whatsoever. You see something, you get it. You see something else, you get it. You don't look at your budget. You don't wait. Some people use like the 2-day rule. If I still like it 2 days later, then I'll get it. But some people, as soon as you see it, I'm getting it. I'm treating myself, as a lot of people say. I want to treat myself. I understand, because there's certain stores, that I like, and I don't go into unless I'm ready to buy something, because I could be tempted to buy something that might be out of my budget. And I don't visit the malls as often as I used to, because if I see something, it almost feel like, oh, I got to get it right now. But I've learned what my points of temptation are when it comes to spending. So it's easier to not go to the mall, not go to that store, than try to go there and try to exercise restraint. At the very least, if you have a credit card, leave your credit card home if you want to go window shopping, because window shopping and regular shopping are not the same. Window shopping, you're just looking. And it probably takes a lot less pressure off you if you don't have a means to pay for it, even if you want to. So leave that credit card home, and get rid of the credit card altogether. But that's a whole nother video about credit and all that. Number two. So number 1 is stop impulsive spending. Number 2 is not saving first. Meaning, soon as you get paid, the first thing you shouldn't do is start spending, but the first thing you should do, one of the first things you should do, is start saving. Put away some money so that next month or next time you get paid, you'll always have something left. And when you begin to see that grow and accumulate, you'll be more motivated and more encouraged to save more, because now you see that there's margin, there's a gap between what you make and what you keep. And when you decide to keep some of it every time, emergencies and inconveniences aren't as troublesome as they would be if you had no money. So number 2 is habit that keeps you broke is not saving as your first action with your money, not saving money and setting it aside. Number 3, and this might tie into number 1, is using your credit card, using debt as a way to finance everything you do in life. You don't use cash. You don't pay cash for anything. You got a credit card, and as long as you can pay the minimum payment, you're going to live it up. But the thing is, that minimum payment could last you half your life. And they even spell it out on the credit cards now, that it'll say it'll take you so many years and you would have paid this much over that time. So when you really consider the final cost of something, like you say, for instance, you bought something for $1,000, but the payment was only $25, $35. Well, it might take you 10 years to pay that off. And by the time you finish paying it off, you might have paid $2,500 instead of the $1,000 that it cost initially. And by the time, it's probably not worth anything if it's worth maybe just a fraction, if that. So you still spending money on something that has no value even close to what you spent. So, don't rely on credit cards to fund your lifestyle. That will keep you broke. Number 4, never look at ways to decrease your expenses. You just accept them and you just keep paying your bills month after month. But you ought to call that cable company and see if they got new promotions. You ought to call utility company, see if they got some kind of budget billing. You ought to call your insurance companies and see if they have different rates, or not necessarily the same insurance, but shop around with other insurance companies and see, or shop around, period, for different things. So the ideal of thinking that your bills are fixed, but there's always room for them to change, to get lower. So don't get into the rut of just paying a bill and forgetting about it, but periodically just ask yourself, how can I lower this bill? Maybe you're doing something and there's a cheaper way of doing it, a less expensive way of doing it. So don't just pay bills and keep paying, but look for ways periodically to lower some of the bills you have. Maybe phone, instead of this phone service, try another phone service. There is always different ways to lower your expenses, but you will never find them if you don't look for them. And so we looked at number 1, stop impulsive spending. This habit will keep you broke. So impulsive spending will keep you broke. Number 2, not saving will keep you broke. Not putting away some money every time you get paid. Number 3, using debt to fund your life. Just charge it type of mentality. Number 4, never look at ways to decrease your expenses. Always look at ways to lower them so that you can save more money. And the last one is similar to a few of the other ones, but it's not is or the bad habit is raising, number 5, raising your expenses or lifestyle to meet a raise that you got. Example, you're making 50,000 and you get a raise to 55,000, which comes out to maybe $400 something a month, right? Well, instead of saying that's $400 that I'm gonna save to grow my emergency fund, that's $400 I'm gonna save to lower my debt, to get to pay off debt. That's $400 that I'm going to invest so that eventually the money will grow to the extent where it will compound and I will have a nice money set aside. Instead, the action to keep you broke is when you get that extra 400, oh, now I can get a car now. So now you're locked in and you just raised your lifestyle to meet that little bit, rather than using that to grow wealth. You used it to go into more debt, to raise your lifestyle. Now, all of these things, all of these habits can be reversed. And the key is that if you do these things, if you reverse them, then you can really do more spending. You can live better because you will have cash. You will have some margin in between your expenses and your income. So don't be such a rush to live the high life, but show some restraint now in the short run, so in the long run you can live the way you really want to live. So I hope this has helped you. These 5 habits that keep you broke: impulsive spending, not saving, or using debt as a way to fund your lifestyle, never looking to increase and never looking to decrease your expenses, and 5 is raising your standard of living to meet your increase in pay. I want to thank you for watching, and hit that little like button, and have a great day. Thanks.